Story number 3. Whew. The poetry of humans having the power of God. Whew. Some people don't believe in a higher power, but I just explained to you, if you tuned in to the first few stories, about how we were able to code technology into its own alternate universe, cyber technology and web tech, and using technology for our own willpower. So could it be that a God, could use human beings for, or we compute it by the laws of the universe? Is there something happening in nature? Now the question is, what happens when human beings have the power as their own creator to do the exact same thing? This is an interesting topic, because in religious law there's all different types of ceremonies and different ways of behavior. Now there was an article talking about how rich people could save the planet. So the thing is that money could be an asset to play God as well. If you have the most chips, you have the most. Could you have more control, more say? You may not have the brain power, but you have money. Now, what you will notice about this universe that we live in is that there's different tactics of living, different strategies, and some people, when they have power, they have a different way of not only governing but of utilizing that power. Some people may just be good at making money but not understand what to do with it. Some people may not understand moral code or human behavior. In this story number 3, when we talk about the poetry of humans having the power of God, is because there's books that inform people how to start wars and how to build nations, or what to do in powerful positions, how to play with the minds of other individuals. You could even look at this abortion debate when it comes to females having the power to basically choose what they want to do with their bodies. Now this is becoming a hot topic, because in each one of these stories or in these situations, there becomes a ripple effect. Like my wife could have been in a woman's stomach, but she could have been aborted, and she may have been eliminated from my time cycle. So that may mean that I may never interact or see my wife, because she could have been sent through the portal of a woman's womb, but she's gone. So she never existed in this universe, but the thought was there. So this is becoming a hot topic about the poetry of humans having the power of God. Even with this new science and this gene editing, there was a story that surfaced about how 5 couples are agreeing to use CRISPR for their babies to avoid them being deaf. So humans are playing with the coding of nature. We're doing this with nuclear weapons. We're doing this with radiation. We're doing this with inventions, and it's changing the I guess the fabric of nature. So this is becoming a scientific equation that a mathematician will have to find, that there's a logical scientific equation that could actually show that things that don't make sense can actually affect the equation of equality. It's amazing. So it's almost like saying that a woman could be created to be with a man, but after we've morally messed up our genetic thinking, our coding, women will start to believe that they can reproduce with other women and men with other men. So this is becoming a phenomenon of nature. It's almost like some freaky stuff happening. There's ancient books that talks about, like, if you want to bring like these racial topics into the discussion. There's these ancient books that talks about, it's even in I think it's coding in the Bible, when it talks about the seeds of Noah and Jacob and Esau, and it talks about how skin color, and how how the darker the skin tone, the more melatonin. And it's an interesting topic, but it's science at a whole new level. But the thing is that it shows you that there's a lot of education and a lot of levels of knowledge that people can tap into in this universe and in this life. And when you talk about how humans can play with these laws and these scientific equations, it can get scary. They're even talking about how a Japanese spacecraft has been able to touch down on an asteroid. Now this is high level thinking, high level education at a whole different level. This stuff is not happening by mistake or chance. People are actually interfering with it. I think if you sit down and you do nothing all day, you will not work any muscles. So nothing will be exercised to play with the laws of the universe. So that's what makes this story interesting, is that when humans start to realize their own capable energy and their own internal power, it becomes manifested into reality. This is poetry, folks. It's almost like greatness. Greatness can only be achieved through great things. I tell you, mediation is tough. There's another story that surfaced on this ground. They're talking about animals. So it's a ripple effect to every choice, every decision. This is poetry, folks. They're talking about how dozens of birds have fallen from the sky in Australia. They were bleeding from the mouth, according to the report. Now, the report says that the birds were poisoned. So, through one bloodline of birds, they could become extinct. So, human beings could become extinct if we start to do things with nature. Like I said, this story is deep story, but it's surfaced in the top 3 because I'm looking at all these discoveries and how man is manipulating and playing with a lot of things. And past scientists like Oppenheimer, Einstein, people who studied physics, Newton, you had a lot of physics and philosophers and theologians. They talked about this in rooms. You had probably Booker T. Washington. You had this stuff happening in Egyptian civilizations, Sumerian civilizations, when they started engaging in science and chemistry. And they're talking about the power when you start discussing and engaging in the topic of the playing with the laws of nature, or the physics, the physical well-being of mankind. Very deep topic, but story number 3 is deep because we're living in a day and age where we have artificial intelligence interfering with the laws of gods. Something is designing this universe. So you have man-made pills, man-made medicine, man-made man-made juices, and so all of these laws are interfering with the natural process of human nature. Some of it is good, some of it is not, but there's a debate about this. There's a topic of discussion because it's messing with the fetus of a female. Story number 3. I tell you, mediation could be tough, I tell you. But somebody has got to do it. Somebody has got to step up to the plate. That was story number 3. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian West. Oh, God, I got my brain chirking. I mean, my juices is flowing. If you want to help me out in any way, give me some water at the finish line. It doesn't take much. A little cash, a little bit of services. It doesn't take much. All you have to visit www.method8inc.com, methodinc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something. Some people say a break or a vacation is good, but I say no. I'm going to keep testing this little body of mine until I become no more. I'm going to keep testing it to see how far I can push the limits of God giving me the power to come in every Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. to give you a dose of news, an injection, something that's good for you, something that's made from me, the mediator. I've taken my time to study, be an asset to my community. I'm using my brain to inform you. And if you want to help me out, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program. I'm not doing this to hurt you, to argue with you. My duty is to keep you informed. I love you. I love everybody. I love myself. I love the world. God.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.